Okay guys, so today we're working on a 2005 V6 two-wheel drive SR5 4Runner. I just took it out for a drive and it started driving erratically. The RPMs were not quite. It looks like it's missing, like one of the engine coils or ignition coils or the spark plug, so it's not firing correctly. So we're gonna try to diagnose it and see if we can get back on the road. So first things first, we're going to plug our handy dandy, our code reader, to the engine. This is the plug, and the plug is located right here. So that's where we're going to put it on. Alright, and now we're gonna plug it on the other end and see what it reads. Alright, so we connected the code reader to the engine, to the car, and we read P0301. It's a cylinder misfire detected. So let's go see if we can figure out how to fix this. All right, so here's a 4Runner, and if you can see, right up in here is where the ignition coils are located. Some of them are easy to get to, some of them are not. So there's 3 on this side, and there's 3 on this side, right underneath the air filter. You can see them right there. The way that these cylinders are labeled, they're labeled in this fashion. This would be cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for a 6-cylinder engine. So cylinder 1 will be passenger front. This is the one that's giving us trouble. When I first bought this car, I made a huge mistake, and I bought some ignition coils, some cheap ignition coils, and over time they have slowly started giving me trouble. So today we're going to put some good coils that I got out of AutoZone. They're Duralast, part number C1426-4, and it's a -4 because there's 4 coils in there. I've already replaced 2 coils in this car, so today we're going to replace another one. So first things first, let's take out the filter, and this comes out pretty easy, and you can see right there that coil number 1 gets exposed really quickly. This guy is a ignition coil that I replaced a while back, and this one is one of the old ones that has all these coils have been giving me trouble. One piece of advice to you guys, whoever's working on these cars, try to avoid always try to avoid buying cheap parts. Try to buy decent parts so that you don't have this type of trouble again. So first we're going to use a 10mm socket. These 10mm sockets are pretty wonderful with these 4Runners. Virtually with the 10mm socket, you can break apart half of this car. You can see that it fits here, and the engine, it fits on basically everything that you put on this car. So you're gonna unscrew the bolt that holds that ignition coil down. Okie dokie. So there it is. We're gonna save it because we're gonna have to reinstall this guy in a little bit. Second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the clip that holds that ignition coil. It's got a detent right here. We're gonna try to encourage it with a screwdriver, and here it comes up pretty easy. Got lucky because this side of the car is the one where you have the most access to the ignition coils, so they're the easiest ones to replace. The other side, however, not so easy. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna open our brand new box of ignition coils. Oh man, and I even saved the receipt. AutoZone, great store. I love working with those guys. Always friendly, they always help you. They got good parts, they stand behind them. So this is a brand new ignition coil, and you can see, I'm gonna take the old one out. This is the bad one, and guys, it could be that there's also a problem with the spark plug, but because of the history I have with this car, I'm willing to bet that we have an ignition coil problem, because it is a very cheap part that I bought it out of Amazon, just trying to save a buck, and in the end it cost me more trouble. Try to buy good parts. So we're gonna put this next one, you can see the part number here, C1426-4. We're gonna sneak it in place. It's really simple to replace. You can see right there that you're gonna see a little bit of resistance, and that's when the ignition coil is slipping. This ignition coil will slip on top of the spark plug right there, and will deliver the current needed for the spark plug to ignite. So there you go. So now we're gonna take our bolt and we're gonna screw it back in place. All these bolts are metric, and that's something that when you lose a bolt, not so easy to replace. The good thing is that Toyota makes awesome cars. So here we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna screw it back on. Hand tight, like that. And now we're gonna plug the ignition coil back in place. And that is it. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna plug our air filter back in place. Super easy to do. It snaps in two places, and there it is. So now we're gonna test drive the car and see if the problem goes away. So I just now started the car. The RPMs seem to be in a good stable space. There's no check engine light on. Everything seems to be all right. I am going to try to drive it a little bit, make sure that it doesn't feel like it's missing. And so far, so good, because he was doing it even in reverse. So we will know real quick, because these type of problems are immediate. So let's go and take a look. Oh man, and it looks like we hit the nail in the head. So it's driving pretty smooth, no issues, no light. Pretty quick fix, something that can save you guys a lot of money. Each of those coils are about $30-$40. So for $30-$40 you can fix this problem and keep your truck happy. Subscribe and send me any comments or questions you may have.